You're watching Bloomberg Starting Bell with Betty Lou. I'm Michelle Makori with your World and National News headlines. Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad reiterating his condemnation of Israel and the U.S. Crowds gathered in Tehran chanting death to America and death to Israel. And Ahmadinejad repeated a suggestion that Israeli Jews should be evicted from Israel and be resettled in Europe, Canada or Alaska. Now, most of the 130,000 residents in Chetmal appear to have heeded government warnings to seek shelter or evacuate. Power is out in the town, trees are down, and damage will be severe. Obama is now less than 200 pledged delegates shy of the number needed to secure the Democratic presidential nomination. Now, McCain has also called for his first presidential debate with Barack Obama on Friday to be suspended so that the two can focus on the financial crisis. Obama is not supporting the idea, saying now is exactly the time that the American people need to hear from their next leader and that he intends to be at that debate. And this is the first time that he is leading Clinton in the superdelegate count. This is according to ABC News. Now, each news organization's delegate count is a little bit different because it's an imperfect science until the convention. But either way, Hillary Clinton is not being deterred and she's vowing to fight on. Israel's Defense Minister Ehud Barak has called on Prime Minister Ehud Olmert to take a leave of absence or resign as he battles allegations of corruption. In the world of mixology, the bar has now been raised for what goes on behind the bar. Seems any good restaurant these days has a cocktail list at least as long, as creative and as elaborate as its food menu. So in the spirit of journalistic credibility, I agreed to sample some of these luxurious concoctions. We all know the expression, the early bird gets the worm. Well, it's more likely that the early bird could get the stroke. Getting out of bed before 5 a.m. might be bad for your health. A study in Japan found that early risers have a higher risk of medical conditions that can lead to heart attack and stroke. People who regularly wake up before 5 a.m., so that's all of us, have a 1.7 times greater risk of high blood pressure and are twice as likely to develop hardening of the arteries. Now, Carol, if you think that getting up and doing some yoga or some other form of exercise will help, well, no, not according to the study. It found that there's in fact a possible link between vascular disease and early birds who begin the day with vigorous exercise.
So in other words, there's no hope for any of us.
We're all
get
doomed.
Up at like 2 and 2:30 in the morning, right?
Exactly. We're all doomed. Get your estates in order.
The bearer of good news, aren't you, Michelle, this morning?
Walking the rails, the wild grass brushing past my feet, the odd tree branch swinging in my path, and the open sky up above. You'd think that I'm probably in the rural surrounds of somewhere like Manhattan, Kansas. Certainly not Manhattan, New York, but just 25 feet below me are the bustling streets of West Chelsea. I'm on top of the High Line. Barack Obama is in Florida to shore up support with the constituencies that polls show he hasn't done so well with. That's older voters, Hispanics, and Jews. Now, traditionally, Jews overwhelmingly favor Democratic candidates. Yet Obama isn't doing so well because of concern that he's not that supportive of Israel. Rhonda, good morning again. Well, as you know, Democrats have control of both houses of Congress, and they'll now have the upper hand in considering the nomination for the next Attorney General. And in that process, they'll have new powers to expand investigations of White House scandals. Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid says that meanwhile, the investigation into the firings of 9 federal prosecutors for what Democrats claim were political reasons will not end just because Gonzalez has stepped down. The bill, however, perhaps not so well balanced. Though these drinks do go down smoothly, the price can be a bit tough to swallow, ranging from $150 to over $1,000 per decadent drink. But when it tastes this good, it's worth every penny. Michelle Makori, Bloomberg. Cheers. And Major League Baseball hopes to resume Game 5 of the World Series between the Phillies and the Tampa Bay Rays. When the game continues, the Phillies will be coming to bat in the bottom of the 6th inning with the score tied 2-2. The Phillies need just one more win to clinch the championship. Let's get the forecast for the game and the rest of the country. To celebrate the Spanish invasion, the Beard Foundation organized a grand gala here at Gustavino. And if the Spanish invasion is indeed that successful, well, then I, for one, willingly surrender. Viva España. Michelle Makori, Bloomberg. And finally, the world's biggest diamond has been found in South Africa. The diamond weighs about 7,000 carats. To put that in perspective, that's about the size of a soccer ball. It is still uncut, though. A South African newspaper says that the diamond has been taken to a vault in Johannesburg and will be assessed by experts. So, Joe Bastardi, if you're looking for a holiday gift for me, you know where to start shopping. In the meantime, let's get our AccuWeather forecast from you. Joe.
Now, Michelle. It's I've got my daughter, my wife, and my wife first, okay? But you're up there in the top 10, okay?
You're watching Bloomberg's Starting Bell with Betty Lou. I'm Michelle Makori with your World and National News headlines. Russia's president says, of course, he'll make his trip to Iran today as scheduled. And South Korea says it has no beef with U.S. beef. The government in Seoul has blocked most imports of U.S. beef back in 2003 because of fears over mad cow disease. Outside the UN, mass protests are planned for later today against Iran's President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. And Columbia University has come under fire for providing a platform for what many regard as a hate monger. People and dogs have always shared a special bond. Through the ages, they've helped us hunt and farm. They've been our protectors, our status symbols, and of course, our best chums. Donatella in Italian means beautiful gift, and she certainly does have a gift for creating sensational restaurants. There's no doubt that this young dining dynamo will savor more sweet success. Michelle Makori, Bloomberg.